by making Adderall available without a prescription will make it easier to become addicted?
No, not if it is monitored correctly. It will, and we'll be doing it by giving out small doses. You state that if Adderall is available over the counter, it can also lead to addiction. Do you think it is fair for you to generalize people? More people than that are taking over-the-counter drugs and do not get addicted.
Well, Adderall is linked with cocaine more than other prescription drugs. Therefore, I think Adderall is different from other prescription drugs because it's a lot more dangerous. You mentioned that monitoring the drug would make it more expensive. Wouldn't this be a cost burden for families that need this drug for their children with legitimate ADHD?
Yes, it potentially could be a burden on the families and the children, but if the children need it, then they have to pay the cost. How do you plan on moderating and controlling the use of Adderall?
We plan on making doctors make stricter decisions on who is really qualified for ADHD and ADD. Although you say there are no heart problems affiliated with this drug, our evidence begs to differ. Do you think it is fair to advertise this as a safe drug, even though there are many chances with adverse side effects?
I think it is okay. I think it's the people who misuse it that suffer from the harms, and also every drug has harms listed, so you can ask the same question for the other drugs. If there is a drug that can help students be more successful in their studies, don't you think it should be available to everyone?
Actually, no, because every drug has side effects, and people have different reactions to each drug, so therefore it can make it unsafe if they do not have the knowledge. Adderall can cause weight loss. Do you think that with the legalization of Adderall without a prescription could lead to disorders affiliated with body image and weight issues?
Possibly, but that is what trials are for, so you can see how your body reacts to it. If you find yourself eating less, then you can get a lower dosage. You stated that Adderall causes heart problems, headaches, weight loss, insomnia, etc. But doesn't every prescription drug have side effects that could negatively affect your life?
Yes, but as I stated before, Adderall is much more severe, and prescription drugs are safer. If Adderall is legalized without a prescription, won't this lead to more drug usage and abuse because it is considered a gateway drug?
It could if not monitored correctly, but from our research, we found that it is not a gateway drug because people who abuse it have abused drugs in the past. Do you really believe that flyers, emails, seminars, and other forms of educating college students about the effects of Adderall can really make a big difference in legal use?
Yes, because it's very important to get the word out, and even if it changes one student's views, it makes a big difference. And professors should use their power or whatever.
Time. Negative counter plan, disadvantages, our counter plan. The negative counter plan is that Adderall should be available to college students over the counter in small doses. Like several prescription drugs such as Claritin or Advil cold and sinus, this is ineffective. Disadvantages. You stated that Adderall does not increase heart problems. We disagree. Just like caffeine or any other stimulating drug, it does speed up your heart rate. Canada's health decision to ban Adderall was a result of an in-depth review of Adderall users' deaths. These deaths were not associated with overdose, misuse, or abuse. 14 deaths occurred in children and 6 deaths in adults. There were 12 reports of strokes, two which occurred in children. This clearly was due to the increased heart problems. You argue that just like marijuana use, you do not have control over the uses of Adderall. In reality, no one has control over anything. We all make our own decisions. We are stating that we care what choice people make because we care about the quality of people's lives. The government already has regulations over Adderall, but the DDA should crack down more on college campuses to stop recreational use of Adderall. You stated that our plan will cost more money to moderate. Yes, it might cost more money, but in the long run, isn't the quality of life more important than money anyways? We think so. Our counter plan. The students of Illinois State University should stop using Adderall for recreational uses They should use such as studying for tests, pulling all-nighters, and working on projects. Students should focus on stop procrastinating, starting studying for projects and tests more in advance, and employing other traditional study methods to prepare for their exams or projects. The university will offer more classes on study habits, time management, test-taking methods, and will be blocking social networking sites through ISU networks. Professors should offer more review sessions to prepare students for tests.
Adderall should be available to students over the counter in small doses. College students' lives don't just include going to classes anymore. Work, family, school, and a social life all play into many stressors that students struggle with on a daily basis. Our counter plan allows students to access Adderall more easily so they can focus on their studies more. The affirmative talks about how they don't think Adderall should be for recreational use. To think that you can have complete control over who can use it is naive. There is no way that society can control the recreational use of other illegal drugs, let alone the use of Adderall. We believe that by allowing students to buy it over the counter, it makes it easier to monitor how much is being bought. The affirmative also mentions the risk of addiction. Our research shows different. We explain how most addicts are those who are already using other illegal drugs as well as Adderall. Most students using the drug are only using it for studying purposes. Addicts are not created when drugs are used for recreational use only, which is why our plan works over the affirmative. By allowing pharmacies to sell the drug over the counter, the students are allowed to access the Adderall at the correct dosages. This way it is being controlled and the risk of addiction is slim. Both the plan and the counter plan have its downfalls. The original plan is ineffective because it's impossible to completely monitor the drug, which is why our plan is the most effective. We have a plan that monitors the amount of Adderall being sold and also allows students to access it. Our plan is the way students can handle the stresses of college and still be successful.
Thank you for coming to our debate about Adderall.
Yay!
Good job. Good job.
Was your teacher supposed to come?